Imagine if the foundations of our history were built on cosmic secrets. If stories of gods, angels, and prophets were echoes of an ancient relationship with extraterrestrial beings. This concept, though radical, has intrigued modern scholars, notably the late researcher and philosopher Dr. Zecharia Sitchin. Sitchin, through his meticulous work on ancient Sumerian texts, breathed new life into ideas of humanity's extraterrestrial origins and offered a glimpse into a hidden history that challenges our understanding of who we are. Join us as we explore his findings, their implications, and the timeless mysteries of ancient texts, interstellar visitors, and the legacy that may run in our very DNA. Dr. Sitchin was one of the foremost proponents of the theory that ancient Mesopotamian gods, particularly the Anunnaki, weren't merely mythological figures but rather alien beings from beyond our solar system. The word Anunnaki translates roughly to those who came from heaven to earth. According to Sitchin, these beings hailed from a planet named Nibiru, whose eccentric orbit brought it close to Earth once every 3600 years. The Anunnaki, Sitchin suggested, arrived on Earth in search of resources, especially gold, which they needed to stabilize their atmosphere. To achieve their aims, the Anunnaki are said to have engaged in a form of genetic engineering, manipulating early hominids to create a workforce, a hybrid species that ultimately became modern humans. Sitchin's theory posits that this act of creation left a trace in our genetic code, hinting at a possible cosmic legacy shared by all humanity. Yet Sitchin didn't paint the Anunnaki as a homogeneous race. Rather, he presented them as complex beings, complete with rivalries, conflicts, and hierarchies, not unlike humanity itself. He argued that Anunnaki's motivations, struggles, and ideologies were deeply intertwined with humanity's destiny, with their influence woven into the earliest myths and legends. Could it be that these ancient visitors left us more than just physical remnants? Did they bequeath stories of heroism, conflict, and power struggles ingrained in our cultures and religions across millennia? Sitchin's theories don't stop at the earthbound influence of extraterrestrials. He was one of many researchers who suggested that interstellar conflicts might have spilled over into our planet's ancient history. Texts such as the Mahabharata and the Epic of Gilgamesh contain detailed accounts of wars waged with devastating celestial weapons, stories which Sitchin and others believed could be reflections of real, ancient interplanetary battles. The Mahabharata speaks of weapons like the Brahmastra, described with terrifying power, able to level entire cities, a kind of weapon that modern readers can liken to nuclear power or laser technology. Could it be that ancient humans witnessed such displays of power firsthand? Dr. Sitchin posits that these accounts are likely based on interactions with advanced extraterrestrial beings, whose tools and weaponry far exceeded the capacity of even modern-day humans. The very idea that Earth might have been caught up in the crossfire of galactic wars brings to mind epic sci-fi narratives, particularly those depicted in modern films like Star Wars. Sitchin argued that such tales could be more than fiction, born instead from memories of real events involving civilizations from Orion, Sirius, and other distant star systems. Through this lens, humanity's fascination with interstellar conflicts takes on a haunting new dimension. A genetic or cultural memory of events that happened long ago, perhaps even imprinted in our DNA. Atlantis, the fabled lost city, has inspired legends and scholarly debates for centuries. Plato's writings first introduced Atlantis as an advanced civilization that mysteriously vanished, leaving little more than ruins. Dr. Sitchin expanded on this story, suggesting that Atlantis was more than a lost city. It was an entire civilization that spanned the globe, serving as an Anunnaki stronghold. According to Sitchin, these Atlanteans may have wielded technology and knowledge far beyond our own, perhaps due to their Anunnaki heritage. Structures like the pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, as well as the Sphinx, show alignments with celestial bodies that indicate a deep understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and even electromagnetism. Sitchin believed these megalithic structures were evidence of Atlantis's global influence, remnants of a civilization that had achieved extraordinary advancements in architecture, science, and spirituality. Intriguingly, he noted that many ancient sites, particularly in Latin America, were altered by subsequent civilizations. In Mexico, for example, Spanish conquerors built churches over existing pyramids, concealing the symbols and remnants of previous cultures. Sitchin and others believed this pattern of replacement was no coincidence, as it allowed newer powers to assert their dominance while quietly erasing the traces of past, possibly extraterrestrial influences. Dr. Sitchin's work centered on the careful study of ancient texts, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the Enuma Elish. He believed these texts contained more than mythology. They were records of history, a history shared between humans and extraterrestrials. According to Sitchin, ancient Sumerian tablets, Indian epics, and Egyptian hieroglyphs contain references to the Anunnaki and other star systems like the Pleiades and Sirius. These aren't merely poetic symbols, he argued, but references to actual places and beings. The Anunnaki's accounts of cosmic wars, advanced technology, and genetic experiments may sound like modern sci-fi, but Sitchin saw them as evidence of humanity's forgotten past. The pyramids, he argued, aren't just marvels of engineering but are potential repositories of this lost knowledge, deliberately built as an expression of humanity's link to the stars. One of Sitchin's most thought-provoking theories was that ancient extraterrestrial visitors didn't just shape early human civilizations, but could have influenced key spiritual figures, including Jesus Christ. While Sitchin approached this topic cautiously, others have taken up the idea, arguing that Jesus might have possessed extraterrestrial wisdom, encoded in what some call the cosmic Christ theory. According to this interpretation, Jesus was an advanced being, possessing a unique understanding of healing, metaphysics, and spiritual transformation. His virgin birth is seen as evidence of genetic manipulation, possibly suggesting a divine or otherworldly origin. Additionally, accounts of Jesus' lost years, the period from ages 12 to 30, where the Bible remains silent, align with theories that he traveled to Egypt, India, and beyond to learn from spiritual leaders and mystics. These lost years may represent Jesus' acquisition of knowledge that was originally extraterrestrial, thus supporting Sitchin's theories about cosmic origins and advanced teachings. Dr. Sitchin pointed out that Jesus, like the Anunnaki and Atlantean legends, could represent the continuity of an extraterrestrial legacy, one that transcends traditional religious boundaries. Stories of miraculous healings, energy manipulation, and resurrection bear a striking resemblance to accounts of Anunnaki's alleged abilities. Was Jesus a continuation of an ancient lineage, not just a spiritual guide, but a cosmic messenger, carrying within him the wisdom of extraterrestrial teachings? Sitchin didn't claim to have all the answers, but he invited his readers to consider these possibilities. One of the reasons we hear so little about these ancient mysteries, according to Dr. Sitchin, is due to deliberate suppression. Sitchin argued that powerful institutions like the Catholic Church have actively sought to control the narrative of human history. By enforcing strict religious doctrines, the Church and other authorities erased or altered knowledge that contradicted their interests. During the Inquisition, countless ancient texts were destroyed, temples and sacred sites were dismantled, and scholars of alternative history were silenced. The goal, Sitchin argued, was to establish a unified narrative that consolidated power and legitimized a new social order. He suggested that had these alternative narratives survived, humanity might have been better equipped to understand our true origins, potential, and purpose. The Catholic Church's practice of building cathedrals atop ancient pyramids or replacing sacred sites is seen by some as evidence of this historical erasure. Sitchin believed that such acts were not only cultural dominance, but a deliberate attempt to suppress memories of an extraterrestrial influence. Could it be that these ancient sites, with their alignments to the cosmos and links to forgotten gods, held secrets that certain powers didn't want the public to know? Dr. Zecharia Sitchin compels us to look deeper. If even a fraction of these theories hold weight, the implications for humanity are profound. Our ancestors might not have been as isolated and primitive as mainstream history suggests. Instead, they may have interacted with beings from other worlds who helped to shape and guide early civilizations. The Anunnaki's legacy could very well reside in our DNA, our myths, and our unyielding curiosity about the cosmos. Are we alone in the universe? If Sitchin was right, the answer lies not in looking outward, but inward, toward our own origins and the cosmic heritage that has been with us all along. As we push the boundaries of space exploration, we may one day find that our ancestors were in fact pioneers in an interstellar story. Dr. Sitchin's theories remind us that the mysteries of our past may hold the keys to understanding the mysteries of our future.